I want you to imagine this for a second. A single aircraft, invisible to radar, flying deep inside one of the most heavily defended airspaces on Earth. Not for minutes, not for seconds, but for hours. No alarms, no missiles, no interceptions. If that sounds impossible, stay with me, because what you're about to hear may completely change how you think about modern warfare. Before we go any further, if you enjoyed deep military stories, real-world strategy, and moments that feel straight out of a thriller, make sure you like this video and subscribe to World War II Official right now. It really helps the channel grow, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Now, here's where the story truly begins. According to reports that later surfaced through defense analysts and intelligence facts, a U.S. Air Force B-2 Spirit stealth bomber carried out an unusually long intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance mission in the Western Pacific. On paper, it was routine. In reality, it was anything but. What makes this mission so controversial is the claim that the aircraft didn't just skirt Chinese air defenses. It allegedly passed straight through them, flying over sensitive military regions for nearly 6 hours without being engaged. To understand why this matters, you have to understand the B-2 Spirit itself. This aircraft was never designed to be loud, fast, or flashy. It was designed to disappear. Its shape, materials, and internal weapons bays were engineered to reduce radar reflections to an extreme minimum. Analysts often describe its radar cross-section as being comparable to a small bird, and that's not marketing hype. It's the result of decades of classified research, billions of dollars, and a philosophy that prioritizes invisibility over everything else. The mission, according to leaked summaries, began far from the Chinese mainland. The bomber reportedly entered contested airspace at high altitude, relying on a combination of stealth shaping, electronic warfare, and flight routing that exploited known gaps in radar coverage. But what shocked analysts later wasn't just that it entered, it was how long it stayed. For nearly 6 hours, the aircraft is said to have loitered, collecting electronic signatures, mapping radar emissions, and silently observing strategic installations. These weren't empty stretches of land. We're talking about areas protected by some of China's most expensive air defense systems, including Russian-built S-400 units and domestically produced HQ-29 batteries, systems that were designed specifically to counter stealth aircraft. Yet, according to these accounts, no missile was fired. Some analysts believe Chinese radar operators may have seen intermittent anomalies on their screens, fleeting signals that appeared and vanished before they could be classified as threats. Others suggest the bomber's electronic warfare suite actively manipulated radar returns, creating ghost targets or suppressing detection altogether. The truth remains classified, but the outcome was unmistakable. The aircraft completed its mission and exited the region without interception. When fragments of this operation were allegedly leaked through Western intelligence circles, the reaction inside Beijing was reportedly immediate and severe. Internal investigations were launched within air defense commands. Radar crews were questioned. System performance logs were scrutinized line by line. The implication was clear. If the reports were even partially accurate, it meant that China's air defense network, built at enormous cost, had failed to detect a high-value intruder operating at will. What's interesting is what happened next. Defense observers noted a sudden acceleration in Chinese radar research programs. Funding was quietly redirected toward next-generation detection systems, including low-frequency radars and multi-static sensor networks designed to counter stealth technology. Other military projects reportedly saw budget slowdowns, suggesting priorities had shifted. While no official admission was ever made, the actions themselves told a powerful story. From the U.S. perspective, the message was equally deliberate. Intelligence agencies are careful about what they reveal, but selective leaks can be a strategic tool. By allowing hints of the mission to surface, Washington may have been signaling that its stealth advantage was not theoretical, not outdated, but very real and operational. It was a reminder that dominance in the air doesn't always come from numbers, but from information, design, and decades of refinement. If you're finding this breakdown interesting so far, don't forget to hit that like button and stay subscribed to World. It lets us bring you more stories like this, explained clearly and without the noise. Now, here's the the part many people miss. This wasn't just about one bomber or one flight. It was about psychological impact. Air defense systems aren't just weapons. They're confidence. They're deterrence. If commanders believe their skies can be penetrated without warning, every calculation changes. Training doctrines shift. Patrol patterns evolve. And resources move fast. Some experts argue that the true goal of the mission wasn't intelligence collection at all. It was testing. Testing response times. Testing sensor fusion. Testing human decision-making under uncertainty. By staying airborne for hours, the aircraft may have been pushing those systems to their limits, gathering data that will influence tactics for years to come. Of course, it's important to say this clearly. Much of what you're hearing is based on alleged leaks and analyst interpretation. Neither side has officially confirmed the details. But in modern military affairs, silence can be just as meaningful as confirmation. When systems work perfectly, nations love to talk about it. When they don't, they quietly adapt. As technology continues to evolve, the cat-and-mouse game between stealth and detection only gets more intense. New radars emerge, new countermeasures follow. But missions like this, real or rumored, remind the world that the balance is never static. It shifts, often without warning, and usually far from public view. And that's what makes stories like this so fascinating. They're not just about machines.
They're about strategy, perception,
And the invisible battles happening every day above our heads. If you've made it this far, I'd love to hear what you think. Do you believe stealth aircraft can still dominate modern air defenses? Or is that era slowly coming to an end? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because your perspective matters. And these discussions help the community grow. If you found this story worth sharing, send it to a friend who loves military history and modern warfare. And once again, stay connected with World War II Official for more deep dives that keep you watching till the very end.